Men like money too. Men are gold diggers. You guys call them ice boys. They're in the clubs, but none of them are being killed because now I drank 10,000 rand worth of alcohol. Yeah, Elvis. Do you understand what I'm saying?
If me right now, someone denies me something, or I see a girl in the streets and then I say hello, and then he says, no, I don't want to speak to you. Why is it that I don't pick up a gun and shoot her?
But that's just you. You're 1 in 5 men.
So my cry is on the organization, because if you remember, when this protest happened, there was a placard that was held by a young lady. It was written, "All men should die."
So holistically, I looked at how many people are being killed per day.
That's nice, yeah.
So it's 72, and only about 11 or 12 of that 72 are female. The rest are men.
Welcome to Break It Down Mondays. My name is Elvis Mulifimov. I am with Kat MPH. I am with Theo M, as well as Skumbuzo and Toby on production. Today's episode is going to try and answer some of the questions related to gender-based violence, the recent women's G20 shutdown that was hosted by Women for Change organization, or rather an NPO. Some of the questions that we're going to answer is to look at what are some of the numbers in terms of murders in South Africa. We're going to even take it to previous years and compare, the relationship between those numbers. We're going to also look at what is the jail sentence for offenses such as rape, murders, and other forms of physical abuse. We're also going to look at some of the victims that have been affected by gender-based violence as well as femicide. So yeah, Skumbuzo is going to assist us with running this show. Yes, brother.
We'll start first by congratulating the Women for Change organization for hosting a successful march on the 21st of November.
Of course,
but then we still have to find out actually who came up with Women for Change and when was it established.
Yeah.
So mhlambe ke uTiyo ngasibambela yona kuqala bafu.
Well, from what I got to understand about the Women for Change organization, it was founded in 2016 as an organization after the murder of a 15-year-old South African, I think Swedish citizen. There was a girl child. She was 15. Her name was Francesca Blonschlinger, something like that.
Francisca, yes.
Yeah, that was the name and the last name. So it prompted the founder, who is Sabrina Walter, that is the founder of the organization Women for Change, to take a memorial walk for the organization to raise awareness on the gender-based violence that is occurring globally, but extremely in this country. Yeah.
Then looking at our goals wabo and missions or advocacy yabo, they probably do exist to combat gender-based violence, specifically femicide, or they focus more on femicide. Their core mission, besides safety and dignity, gender conformity for people that are not that don't fall under your male, female. We are talking LGBTQI.
Yeah.
Women for Change, besides focusing on advocacy, do they have a an impact on the policy of the country?
Well, no, obviously not. It's impossible to have an impact of the policy of the country unless you are directly involved in politics and you are the one that's making all these policies, which we know our president is responsible for that. And well, that hasn't changed much. So apart from them advocating for femicide and violence against people of the Rainbow Gang, they also seek to educate people as well as offer support to victims of violence.
Dope.
I think in terms of its formation, we also find the information, whether true or not. There was a previous organization that Sabrina Walter obviously is the founder of the movement,
yeah.
was running with her partner or business partner, I don't know,
Yeah.
Lenny or Linnea Ulrich.
Lenny Ulrich.
Yeah, so they ran.
She's also from Berlin, by the way, in Germany.
Okay, yeah. So they ran a company called Catch Me If You Can, and I think they were based in Cape Town, where it was an all-women running community, right?
Oh,
and thereafter that incident that you mentioned of a 15-year-old that was murdered, I think raped and murdered, and that's where the whole movement actually started, you know. But beside that, you know, for me, the organization is almost acting as a political wing for some sort of like trying to get access to
the political sphere.
To have influence. And you're talking about the policy, you know, having influence. But for me, it's like the whole thing, if I'm looking at it and I'm predicting, is that at some point we're going to see Sabrina Walter or some people that are representing Women for Change starting to say we need to be represented in the parliament, and we might even end up with a political party.
Basically.
Right. So essentially, it started off as just raising awareness. Like it was an event, right? It was just one singular event. Sabrina saw, because she's a global activist. She's been campaigning for gender-based violence around the world. It's not just in South Africa.
Yes.
And so then she decided that, no, we're going to do this walk to raise awareness in South Africa now, right? And so obviously you can see that the police and our government officials aren't doing anything about the crisis that we face.
I agree.
So then essentially you would have to go into parliament so that you can speak properly, and then they can set policies, because how else are they going to then hear what you have to say if you're not in front of them, right? So yeah, they are gonna go into politics, as every single activist usually does.
Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out. But
looking at the numbers now, between let's look at both genders. What are the reported violence and murders?
Well, okay. So I was only focusing on what is transpiring currently. I wasn't looking at previous statistics or anything. I was looking at the first quarter of what has been transpiring this year. So they're sitting at this statistics for both genders. Let me start with the male victims. It's sitting at around, this is from January up until March. That is the first quarter.
Okay.
So it's male victims is sitting at around 4,890. Roughly, out of this gruesome number, 54 men are killed per day. Then we move on to the female victims ones.
this is 2025.
This is 2025.
First quarter.
First
What's
quarter.
the number for women?
The number for women is 837, and roughly 9 women are killed per day. That is the statistics.
Okay. What do you have, Kat?
So holistically, I looked at how many people are being killed per day.
That's nice, yeah.
So it's 72, and only about 11 or 12 of that 72 are female. The rest are men.
All right.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you.
And is it just men alone or men and LGBTQI?
Well, they weren't really specific.
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously, your gender doesn't have, like, if you're a man, you're a man, and you're going to be classified
Yes.
as a man.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for clarifying that, because the whole thing of LGBTQI plus, or what is plus community,
the letter gang.
they tend to forget themselves in terms of like their actual gender. You know,
it's important not to forget yourself.
Yeah. So, but anyway, my numbers, I've grouped my numbers, yearly. Right.
Okay.
So from 2021 up until 2024, just to also look at like the relationship, you know, to say how do they relate to each other. So in 2021 overall, I've also looked at both genders, like everyone else, just like you. So in 2021, it was over 19,000 murders in South Africa totally, right? And out of that, 2,655 were women. In 2022, 25,000 murders, and out of that, 3,000 were women. And in 2023, it was over 27,000. And out of that, 3,880 were women. And then in 2024, last year, it was 26,000, or rather 26,232. And out of that, 5,578 were women. And I think that's the noise that I was trying to actually make, on social media recently. Kat and I went, head on in terms of arguing this subject. But I understand. So my argument is that if you've got 26,000 people that are murdered totally, and only 5,578 of that are women, how then do you come back and be like, we've got a national crisis of women, or a targeted kind of murder towards women? It's almost like men set somewhere and be like, we are going to murder women now, and we want all the women to die. It's not like that. The only crisis that, I would agree if we say that we have a murder crisis in South Africa. 100% I would agree. But to say that we have a woman murder crisis, I don't really agree with that.
You don't, from the numbers.
Because if you minus that...
Yes, I don't as well.
No, wait, before you don't. Because if you minus that 5,000 out of 26,000, you are left with a bigger number. You are left with a serious number where 5,000 can enter many times into that.
Yeah.
So to just say that, that specific number then creates some sort of crisis, for me, I don't know. Yeah.
According to you. Okay.
But I think Kat wants to respond before you move to the next question.
Okay.
First of all,
yes, ma'am.
right? Let me just clarify what gender-based violence is now.
All right.
Because
Don't
I
forget
can see
the F at the end.
that's femicide.
Yeah.
It's for femicide.
Yeah.
Yes. So gender was never specific to male or female.
Yeah.
It's gender against gender, right? So we're being killed because we are women, right?
Okay.
We're being killed by men simply before being a woman. That's just the basis of it, right?
So the 5,000.
I let you speak.
Oh, I want to ask a question.
No, but you need to
interrupt.
let me
okay,
finish
sure.
because
Okay,
then
sorry,
I'm going to lose
yes.
my thoughts
That's
or
fine.
process.
Okay, sorry, yes. Continue.
Right. So then, men are being killed more than women. But who's
Yes.
killing them? Other men. Men are fighting over stupid things all the time. A person steps on you in the club, you want to shoot him. A person steals your girlfriend or sleeps with your girlfriend, you want to shoot him, right? So that's why it's not classified as gender-based violence, because you guys are killing each other. And you have been doing it since the beginning of time. That's why wars exist. Men like fighting each other, clearly. The issue now is when I step out of my house, Elvis, I'm being killed simply because I'm existing. You say no to a man, he kills you because you said no. You refuse to greet a person, he tells you that's why you're going to get raped, because you refuse to greet me. And that is the crisis that we're facing. So nobody's attacking you guys and saying you guys are not killing each other or killing yourselves.
Or you're not being
But
killed.
the issue is we're being killed senselessly. Men like money too. Men are gold diggers. You guys call them ice boys. They're in the clubs. But none of them are being killed because now I drank 10,000 rand worth of alcohol. Yeah, Elvis. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I will definitely be killed for it.
Yeah.
And that is the basis of gender-based violence. And that's why it's a national crisis. Because men simply are playing God with our lives. That's just the gist of it. And yes, men are being killed, but that's a SAPS problem. And we've just discovered that SAPS hasn't been doing their job.
And we can just jump into that.
Can
and
we
look
also
at the-
say that? Can we also say that women are being killed? That's SAP's problem.
But we're being killed by y'all. That is
But-
the issue. You
but-
guys are killing each other. And then SAPS goes and arrests you and puts you guys in prison. Right?
Yeah.
I go to the police station and I want to open a case because I was harassed or I was raped. And it's a process. And that is the issue as well.
My understanding is that men who are killing other men are not necessarily can't be grouped with other men to say just because it's men on men violence, then when it happens with a woman, then it's like men targeting women. I don't understand that
it's
analogy.
literally that. Men are what do you mean?
It's
What is it then? Why are we being
have some
killed,
sort
Elvis? According to you.
Yeah.
According to you, Elvis, why are we being killed and raped?
100% we do have a problem of people that suffer from some sort of psychological or mental. Yes, I mean, if I'm
wow,
no,
doggy,
wait. Listen,
nah, we're not gonna chop it up to that.
No,
Because
listen to what I'm saying.
I've seen some sane ass people killed just because they want to. It's got nothing to do.
Yeah,
with
but
any
that person
kind
is
of
not. It's not right.
Okay.
It's not right. How can you kill?
And when did
just
you
because
diagnose that
want
person?
to?
They're not right.
That
so
action- that action
when they're
itself-
busy killing me, I must then remember.
But-
or maybe he's not in his right state of
No,
mind. That's
no.
what you're saying. You're
No.
you're saying we must sympathize.
No,
You're saying we
listen
must
to
find
me.
reason for being killed. That's
Listen-
what you're saying.
Take
And
time-
there's absolutely no reason for playing God, Elvis.
At all.
No one.
At all. I don't care
all.
what I did to you. You have no right to kill me.
Okay, can I say something?
Speak.
Sharp. So the fact that that guy is capable of taking your life just for the sake of you denying him whatever that he wants, that on his own is an indication that he's not a normal person. He's not a normal being. You understand? Otherwise, if he was a normal being, everyone was going to be acting like that. If me right now, someone denies me something, or I see a girl in the streets and then I say hello, and then he says, no, I don't want to speak to you. Why is it that I don't pick up a gun and shoot her?
But that's just you. You're 1 in 5 men, and that's
We've
my
got
point.
we've got 20
Men
we've
are
got
doing
26
it more
we've got
usual.
26,000 murders, right? That are committed by how many people out of the population? I'm trying to show you that the majority are sane people, but we've got this number of people that are criminals, that are psychopaths, that are not in their right state of mind, and they're the ones that are perpetrating these murders. They're the ones that are creating all of this crisis. So to take that portion of men or criminals or psychopaths that are going around killing women and say that men are targeting women.
You're saying it's completely sane to shoot somebody in the club because they stepped on your new all-star.
Production, I think I need to
Definitely not.
interject because I'm also involved in this. It can't be that people are going to speak and I don't have a say. So I'm going to interject it now. So here's my view. Yeah. No, I've decided I'm interjecting. Here's my view. We are going to look at this thing in a violent type of format.
Please hold your thought, Once he's done, please come back.
We are I'm still speaking, Chief.
Yeah,
and
yes.
I don't understand why you need to. No, you've been speaking for a long time, and I won't listen to you. I'm not even going to do that at this point. I won't.
Let's
All right.
So we need to look at this not in a format whereby they're gonna run divisions on us, both genders, male and female. I think we are looking at this in a whole completely wrong format. Now we need to look at the instruments that the organization is using. We need to look at the role of the government in this. We need to look at the role as us normal citizens, both male and female.
Okay.
What everyone is standing for and what everyone is doing in all this. Now, I want to focus on the organization a bit.
Which
Now,
organization?
what are we speaking with?
Women
What
for Change.
organization are we speaking
But
with?
say it.
No, Chief. No, you can't tell me how to conduct my
Whoa.
analysis.
Okay,
You
yo,
can't.
okay.
Just
Let's
because
go.
you are right when about the situation, you can't do that. I'm not gonna accept that. Total. Forget.
Right.
So, what I'm saying now is
Yes.
the organization has tools. If you look at how they run their digital framework, if you look at how they run their systems, how they make sure that they discover their stories, they go about them, and how they develop their whole concept. It's a format of making sure that the people that they attract, be it the male that's going to support the organization or the female, they are of the essence of the sympathy side of things when it comes to the objective of the organization, which is to fight against
For the marginalized.
GBV-F. We need not to forget that F, because even when you search Change for Women, it won't say GBV.
only, yes.
No, it'll say GBV-F.
Yeah, but she
It's-
explained the F.
Yes, I'm saying it's specific why it's like that, why it's not GBV only.
Okay.
You need to understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to realize that and understand that. So they are basically fighting for them not being killed in the manner that is happening. Remember, as a man, we have the upper hand of masculinity. We have the upper hand of rulership when it comes to the roles of this world. So, irregardless of whatever happens to women, they're going to feel some type of a way because they don't have those strategic points of living that you carry as a man. They come as a privilege, if you may put it.
But
You
they've
get
got their
me?
own privileges as well.
I agree with you. I'm not
That's
saying
biology.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm not saying yeah, it's biology, chief. We
No,
agree.
it's biology. What do you mean?
We agree. We agree. But what I'm saying is, look at how the organization is playing its role in order to attract people. Look at how they're using it in order to make these people feel pity for whatever statements that they are conducting to the public, in order for the public to listen to those statements so that they can join the organization without even making a background check fully about the organization. So my cry is on the organization, because if you remember, when this protest happened, there was a placard that was held by a young lady. It was written, "All men should die." So my question would be, the organization, is it fighting for violence on gender to gender violence, or are you trying to solve this thing? That's my question.
I've got a great point there.
That's my question.
Okay, so with what you're saying, Theo, right? In that essence, it is correct, because then they're using the anger and the emotion that we all feel, right?
Yeah.
Because almost everyone is a victim
True.
of either rape or you're
Or,
killed.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're all angry. And that was a great way to use our emotion. But now Theo's questioning their motives, their true motives,
Yeah.
in essence,
Yeah.
right? Which, true.
They're questionable.
We should be looking at why
Yes.
is it that they wanted to do this now specifically, and how they went about the whole thing,
Do you know,
right?
Kat?
But my cry is, it's still a win, because the president had to acknowledge
I agree
that we're
with you.
being killed crazily.
So I have
Officially.
to do a lengthy background check on that as well. You get me? On why even it had to lead to the president agreeing to this now, and so and so and so. Remember, there are a lot of factors that will come into play. Sabrina, number one, is not an original citizen of South Africa. So there are certain things that are at play. There are governments that are at play. We don't know what is the
International
role. Yes,
investors.
we don't know what is the role
Yeah.
of Berlin and all that. So the reason why I'm putting emphasis on us, as especially South Africans, both male and female, to do extensive digging behind this organization is because I feel like this organization is prompting tools, be it digital or tools that they use for the organization to have that awareness towards the public, but they use it in a manner that it's going to make us fight and cause divisions amongst ourselves. When you
Yeah.
look at their Twitter account, I'll make an example with that. Their page has got something like 300,000 followers. So when you look at them, they have pictures of victims that have been killed and victims that are still living. They post a picture, they narrated the bio there. This is so and so. She used to live in Pimville. She was killed by a boyfriend. So. So like they keep on saying those stories. I feel like in a format of making people who are reading there to feel more sympathy and make sure that they incline more to the organization for their own benefit.
But let's look
So
at it
that's-
like this. Let me come in there, because it's not like what we see on the internet is wrong. These
I agree
people
with
like
you.
Abo Uyinene were unfortunately murdered.
I agree with you.
We have a number of people like Abo Nompumelelo,
I'm not
Chaka.
disputing that.
Kodwa, at the end of the day, the information has to be out there for justice to be served.
I agree with you, but then what justice are we serving? I want to understand if we are focusing on if this organization is focusing on women solemnly, it should come out and tell us that we are focusing on women solemnly, and men will see where is your right. Because like remember, even Sabrina on SABC, I was watching her interview. She was like, we don't want men to take accountability. We don't want them to, we just want them to know. Like,
Right.
what are you saying? What should we do? Should we stay away from you? Like, we are willing to do that if you want us to reach that extent. So I'm not going to stand for a foreign woman who's going to come here and cause divisions amongst us and our sisters and we sit back. I won't agree to that.
All right. So, as a politics student, now I'll play devil's advocate
Of course.
because I went to school. Anyway, in every single I want to say conflict, right, that we've faced as South Africans, it always has to be a division type of thing.
Yeah.
right? In order to, it's called divide and conquer.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say she does have international investors that are watching her.
Just like
And
the
so if you're
Canadians.
inciting this hate amongst two genders, they'll never work together. Because essentially, guys, that's the only way gender-based violence is going to stop. If we're going to stop this thing of focusing on comparing who's dying more than the other, and we start actually working together, like we have to hold each other accountable at the end of the day. But that's not going to happen, like Theo is saying, if the statement is solely focused on highlighting that this woman was killed by her boyfriend, because there's so many cases where we're being killed by strangers, and those aren't the focal points. Like Uyinene was killed by a complete stranger. She went to the post office to go get a parcel, and then she was killed because this nigga wanted her, right? There's so many people whose stories are not being highlighted simply because it won't gain that much traction. It won't piss off the masses, right? But if we say Tshegofatso Pule was murdered by her boyfriend because she's pregnant, then it's going to get the people going. It's going to get social media amped.
And I feel like Sabrina focuses on prominent stories to a point whereby she wants it to become news for prominence for her company for her own benefits, and at the cost of innocent victims. Some of them, she doesn't even know them, and they're still struggling with whatever that they're going through. So for me, that is a problem. The organization, it's more of a problem than the people that we are currently facing who are
I hear you fully, but then what created that gap that Sabrina saw so fit to fill? Because you need to look at that as well. She saw that victims are not being believed, they're not being supported,
and
nobody's telling their stories.
You know,
right? So then she took the initiative to exploit, like you're saying, exploit those victims by using their stories to gain traction for her movement. But why was that gap there in the
so
first
you
place?
guys
is not doing enough.
So you guys, are you telling me that around your 2010s, I believe that we were all there. So you're telling me that GBV wasn't rife at that time?
It was.
It was rife. It's just that the unfortunate thing, it wasn't prime news where we could view it and speak about it and conversate about it. So how many issues do we have of such nature that we have to give attention to them now when someone is shown? In fact, Sabrina didn't even see an opportunity. He's like a tea girl. She has handlers. She has handlers. Sabrina is not the main character there.
All right.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Can we kind of just probably go to looking at the deficit that SAPS is facing around rape, murder, and the physical abuse that is experienced by majority female and young kids. Looking at the jail sentences, besides rape, you probably could get a minimum of 10 years.
No, you get life.
No, you don't.
So wait. We'll talk about obviously, the formal part of it, obviously.
And
how many years? I'm looking at time. Toby's just warning me that we're running out of time. We need to wrap. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to reach other questions. But to answer your question, so for any form of rape or premeditated murder, you will get something between 25 years, which is considered part of a life sentence. So before you can apply for a parole, you need to at least have served 25 years. Right?
Ideally.
But the interesting part is, I was looking at what happens then to false rape accusers, because they are also there. They exist. If someone falsely accuses you of rape and then later they withdraw the case and maybe to a certain extent confess and be like, no, I was actually wrong. We know a story in Limpopo that actually took place where she later then be like, I know, that's not really true, but the guy is gone. Yes, you understand? Do you know what's the punishment for that?
5 clipper.
There's a case that actually took place like that, and she was fined 500 rands. And it was 500 rands or 12 months imprisonment. When the sentence for rape goes to up to minimum of 25 years, then you say 12 months imprisonment or 500 fine. That to me doesn't feel right.
And even the 12 months imprisonment, it's not going to be a 12 months imprisonment. It's going to be one of those things whereby they they deploy you at homes to cook for elderlies and do community service and stuff as a woman. You're not even going to see jail door, chief. You understand?
In that essence, right? The law then needs to revisit their policy.
Just like that. And I'm arrested for 20 years. I've been in jail for wrongfully accused, just like that.
Okay, but just like Elvis said, now what must we do?
Yeah, I think Sabrina is running a tight ship with making sure.
No,
that
for me, just in conclusion,
No,
but you wanted to
divide
say
and
something.
conquer. I wanted to say something. So, our law, right? It's not as soundproof as you might think. So, essentially, you are supposed to be getting 25 to life, right, for things like rape, but you don't. They look at factors like how old you are. Is it your first offense? Have you admitted to the crime or not? Did you waste state resources? I know of a guy now. We attended a case for 4 years, and he only got 5 years.
For rape.
For rape. And he admitted to doing it. And he only got 5 years.
So what is that? When I admit, then the sentence gets lowered.
It becomes less because you are now, we're not going to go to trial.
You're pleading guilty.
Yeah, so you're pleading guilty, so we're going to now...
You're saving state resources that could be...
So then they look at the
complying.
factors like that. Or
You're
was
like
it
a
your
business,
first...
you're complying.
Yeah, or was it your first offense? Or do you have a history of any violent crimes? Things like that play a very big factor, right?
Yeah.
So holistically, the law does need to go back and rewrite these policies, in essence, to accommodate even false accusations, because it's insane that you're being fined 500 rand for ruining somebody's life, to be honest.
So in my closing, me personally, I would love for South Africans to do more extensive research, and I would love for us to work together, because, hey man, we are the only ones that we have to protect each other. And if we're gonna allow other people that are, cause I wanna be honest, ne, we can try and share this into a GBV thing, but at the end of the day, it comes back to us black people solemnly alone. We are the ones who are, I'm not saying alone per se. White people also, they are affected, but not like us. We are on the majority stake of things affecting us the worst. So we need to make sure that we come together somehow and make sure that we don't fall trapped to things that we do not know of. Please.
Okay.
Me, what I do know is that we're being killed by men. That's what I know. And it needs to come to an end.
All right. And me, what I know is that,
because it's true.
we have a meta crisis, most definitely. Yeah, that's my submission.
A meta crisis.
And let me just close. Thank you so much, guys. I think this was an interesting episode, even though
no, for me it was emotional, because I don't
no,
like speaking about this, and I know what's happening, bro.
This is Break It Down podcast Monday section, or rather Monday segment. I'll see you on the next one. My name is Elvis Mulifimov. Cat MPH is here. Theo M, as well as Skumbuzo.
Love you, bro.
And Toby in the background.
Peace to the Middle East.
Love women.
I for thank you.